Namo Amida Butsu. Question. Reverend Kayazawa Manshi said, quote, "It is not because of their existence that we believe in gods and Buddhas, but rather they exist because we believe in them." End quote. How do you comment on this? Answer. This is false, completely false. Amida Buddha and his Pure Land exist independently of our faith in them or our doubt. If Amida exists just because we believe in him, then he is nothing more than an imagination, a symbol, or a fictional character. Exactly what heretical modernist teachers want you to believe. However, Amida Buddha is a real, living, existing Buddha. Because he exists and his Pure Land is a real enlightened place, we can safely entrust to him and wish to be born in his Pure Land. Faith in a product of human imagination cannot lead to freedom from the repeated births and death. Only because Amida is real is his salvation real. Please be aware, many false teachers have nice and beautiful sayings in their literary work, which taken separately might sound okay, but if you look carefully, you will certainly find grave errors like the above. And one such sentence should be enough for you to simply stay away or do not recommend such teachers to others, especially if they are beginners and not yet established in faith. Things are clear for those who have eyes to see, not only that this statement of Manshi is wrong, but it is a horror. Nowhere in our sacred texts can we find such a negation of the existence of Amida Buddha. I'm really not surprised at all that many nowadays false teachers like Shigaraki, Nobuo Haneda, Daitetsu Uno, Alfred Bloom, and others are great fans of Manshi. No matter if this priest, Manshi, may be or may be not the author of great religious texts, the fact that he said the above words, which are often quoted by our contemporary false teachers, is enough to put him in the category of those who slander Amida Dharma and who self-exclude themselves from the Primal Vow. Anybody can make mistakes because we are ordinary, unenlightened people. But I'm telling you this, dear friends, not even if I'm drunk could I ever say such a horror, that Amida exists because I believe in him. This is truly unthinkable, and I'm very sad to see that many nowadays teachers do not have the courage to take down the statue of this idol or other idols of modern heresies and wrong views. However, I wrote an extensive book against modern wrong views. It is called The True Teaching on Amida Buddha and His Pure Land, which I hope will help many abandon the wrong and embrace the truth. Please study it carefully. Question. Zen Master Kodo Sawaki said, quote, Amitabha, or Amida, doesn't exist because I believe he exists. Amitabha Buddha exists without being concerned whether I believe in him or not. Regardless what I think or believe, Amitabha is the whole heaven and earth. Being pulled by Amitabha's original vow, that is the absolute reality, I function through my own body, speech, and mind as all-pervading self. This is being a Buddha, a great being, a truly mature person. End quote. How do you comment on this? Answer. I saw that passage about Amida Buddha from Kodo Sawaki, a respected Zen master, quoted many times like a big thing by Pure Land followers who are not careful to what they share with others. At first sight, it is a good teaching, but after a careful examination, we can see it as nothing else but a Zen interpretation and not in accord with the Jodo Shinshu teaching. So, the first two sentences are okay if taken out of the rest of the passage. Yes, Amida Buddha or Amitabha exists, no matter whether we believe in him or not, as I also explained when I answered the previous question. That is true. But the rest of the passage has no relevance for us, followers of the Pure Land Dharma Gate. Quote, Amitabha is the whole heaven and earth, end quote. Okay, stop here. This is a trap modernist teachers use by mixing Zen ideas into Jodo Shinshu, that is, to portray Amida as anything else but not a living, transcendental Buddha with whom you can have a relationship based on faith. No, dear friends, on the Nembutsu path, Amida is not the whole heaven and earth, but Amida, as described in the largest sutra, a specific Buddha, an individuated, manifested Buddha in form and name, with a real enlightened place, which can be attained after death, and with a clear message: entrust yourself to me, say my name, and wish to be born in my land. This is the primal vow, or the original vow. You are not pulled by Amida's vow if you do not entrust to him as an individuated Buddha and wish to go to his specific Pure Land. Again, this is a smart trap set by modernist teachers to confuse ordinary people as they talk only about the ultimate reality of Amida in order to hide his transcendental manifestations, Sambhogakaya, or his various Nirmanakayas, transformation bodies, which are essential for a faith-oriented school like ours. You must understand that the goal of the primal vow of Amida Buddha is to take you to the Pure Land after death, and not to function here and now in this very body, speech and mind as the all-pervading self. If you talk this Zen talk, you will confuse people who are called to the simple faith of Jodo Shinshu. The goal of the primal vow is that you do exactly what the primal vow asks you to do. Entrust yourself to me, say my name, and wish to be born in my land. Again, the primal vow is not a way to realize ultimate Dharmakaya or Buddha nature or all-pervasive self, so that you function through your own body, speech and mind as all-pervading self, as Jodo Shinshu says, thus implying that you can be a truly mature person or a Buddha here and now. This is clearly a specific Zen interpretation and teaching of the self-power path, which has nothing to do with the Pure Land Dharma Gate. Jodo Shinshu implies that through the primal vow, or the original vow, he becomes a Buddha with this very body, thus modifying and reinterpreting the most important element of the Pure Land Dharma Gate to fit his Zen context. Quote, being pulled by Amitabha's original vow, I function through my own body, speech and mind as all-pervading self. This is being a Buddha, a great being, a truly mature person, end quote. Thus, he somehow speaks about the primal vow like he would speak about Zazen. However, this is contrary to the Pure Land teaching, which states that we become Buddhas only after death, when we are actually born in the Pure Land. I hope you see this difference, dear Nembutsu friends, and you will stop using passages intended for the Zen Dharma Gate and Zen disciples on the Pure Land Dharma Gate. As long as we are not Buddhas, we should not mix the various Dharma Gates, because we will confuse people. What Kodo Sawaki Roshi said in a Zen context and for his Zen students does not apply in a Jodo Shinshu context and for Jodo Shinshu disciples. I hope I am not misunderstood, as my words are not against Kodo Sawaki Roshi, for whom I have deep respect as a former Zen practitioner, but against the tendency of many nowadays priests, without the settled faith of our tradition, of using Zen ideas for Pure Land Dharma Gate. Our Pure Land Dharma Gate is simple. We will dwell in our ultimate Buddha nature after we are born in the Pure Land, not here and now with this very body, speech and mind. Here and now we should focus on matters of faith, because here and now Amida Buddha asked us to do three simple things in his primal vow or original vow. Entrust yourself to me, say my name, and wish to be born in my land. No mention there about any functioning in your own body, speech and mind as all-pervading self, as Kodo Sawaki Roshi said. To function in your own body, speech and mind as all-pervading self is the practice of becoming a Buddha here and now, which belongs to the self-power schools, not ours. Again, please stop using quotes and passages from masters who follow other practices and teachings and who did not receive the faith of the primal vow. It would be better if they too would abstain from using the terminology of the Pure Land Dharma Gate to promote teachings which belong to the Zen Dharma Gate. But even if they do that, we should focus on our specific teaching and do what Rennyo said we should do. Cling to the sleeves of Amida. Entrust to Amida and solve the matter of the greatest importance of afterlife. We should be people of simple faith and talk about faith in simple terms instead of playing smart with quotes about ultimate Buddha nature, which we do not really understand anyway. Namo Amida Butsu.